Yes.
Get back, you know.
Right.
That's assumption.
That should be it.
We're gonna pay or whatever, it's not-
You want to stop on?
Yeah, that's very good.
Your stopwatch is different than mine.
No, I had that, and then
Show me
how did I switch it to this?
Stopwatch says
Ah. Hello, technology, man, I'm not doing technology.
you're all stressed out.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yes, that goes forward.
Jason, and we're going now. Dakota and Elizabeth, sit down somewhere and make yourself comfortable. All right.
Okay, you're gonna get 5 minutes, I'll give you bunny ears when you got 2 left, and then 1 left, and then we'll have 10 minutes of Q&A. So whenever you're ready.
I will, well, if it's passing out papers count on my time?
No, you wanna hand them to me, I'll send them right down the road.
Okay, good. So here's our one pager that you
Okay,
requested, and here's our budget.
thank you very much, sir.
Okay. All right, so, hi, I'm John Mark Dempsey, and I'm an associate professor of radio television here. Also have some assignment with the university's radio station, KETR. And I'm here to talk to you about Lions After Dark, which is our student-produced radio program on KETR from 9 to 11 p.m. Monday through Thursday night. I'm going to go through this pretty fast. I've timed it so I can get through it in 2 minutes to leave some time for the Lions After Dark host to talk. So the student-oriented Lions After Dark program is heard Monday through Thursday night from 9 to 11, KETR 88.9 FM. It's one of the very few live music programs on the air at night in North Texas. 2 student broadcasters share the duties of preparing the broadcast on the 100,000-watt station, which reaches listeners in a range of about 70 miles. The student broadcasters are entirely subject to the rules and operating procedures of KETR. The program seeks funding for 38 weeks per year, 15 weeks in the fall, 15 weeks in the spring, 8 weeks in the summer. We calculate the cost of 2 student broadcasters paid $7.25 per hour, 19 hours per week, to be about $10,500. Incidental expenses include a music service that provides music to the program costing $150 per year, and a regular student center ad costing $15 a week if funding allows. Of course, that's Jason Osei, who has been one of our student hosts for the past couple of years. In the announcement seeking student service fee proposals this year, those making proposals were advised to be cautious in asking for additional funding. In this proposal, Lions After Dark is actually asking for less funding than we requested last year. Lions After Dark puts the spotlight on talented A&M Commerce students, apart from our own hosts. For example, the University Playhouse students there in the lower left-hand corner when they have a play. VK, the DJ, is an Indian student who started with a regular segment on Lions After Dark, now has his own program on KETR Friday nights. Tyler and the Tribe, rock group with Jordan Owens there on the left, at least one of those A&M Commerce students who have appeared and who have played on the program. I want to show you, I'm not sure how to do that with this clicker, I want to show you the Facebook page and the Twitter page real quick. Dakota, if you can help me go to the Facebook page, great. So, Facebook page will reflect and scroll down some of the activity here recently. They had Tim McMurray. We have to, can we do without that perhaps? Yeah, just not now, thanks. Keep scrolling, Dakota. We had Tim McMurray on, some other live interviews. They're not quite so fast. The new student body president, SAG, I guess, student activity, I don't know what you guys. Student government, thank you, something like that. He was on the other night. Scroll on down, Tim McMurray was on talking, there he is, talking about the athletics fee, and when we do these live interviews, we now try to stream them on Facebook. Dakota, go to Twitter. There's Elizabeth, one of our newer hosts. And of course, they do a Twitter page because we realize that FM radio, while it's wonderful, is not necessarily the only way to reach, especially a young audience today.
It's not
So-
loading.
So they have a Twitter page, I think it'll eventually go there, but basically that's my 2 minutes. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. I want also, each of these guys is gonna have a word to say too. So Jason first, Jason Osett.
Got about a minute.
Just briefly, Lines After Dark is great because number one, it gives us experience to actually be in the production field, which is hard because especially when you go into the job world, a lot of them ask for experience. So students, especially myself being a student athlete at the time, it was hard for me to go get internships and so forth. So that's why it was great for me to be on the show and actually get that experience actually working with the radio station. So that's why I feel that this program should continue for the near future.
Dakota Brewer.
Hey guys, my name is Dakota Brewer. Similar, to the vote of Jason. I've been in the athletic program for 3-4 years now, and like you said, it's a great opportunity to get experience in our field, and it's radio and television. And not many students get that opportunity to work at a 100,000 watt station, especially while you're still in college. So it's a great opportunity for us, continue strengthening our mind when it comes to radio and television and that kind of thing. But not only that, it's a great way to connect to the campus and the community. We have a slogan that's a college radio show for college students by college students.
Time.
Okay.
Let's go to Q&A now.
Thank you.
Good job.
Do we have one more? Do we have 1 minute more?
No,
No? Oh,
sorry.
sorry, Liz.
Got Q&A.
Oh, she can come up here and she can answer questions.
So there we go. That's the
They
perfect
asked
way
if
to
she
do
had
it.
anything to say about the program.
There we
What would
go.
you say?
There-
If
here's
you
your
could-
question.
If you could speak on the program, what would you say?
Well, I would say that it's just really important, not only for us to gain experience, but also for the student body, because, we bring people onto the show that maybe students don't have the opportunity to speak with on a regular basis, so that we're able to, just kind of bring more awareness to certain things that are happening on campus, like SGA events or like athletic events, so we're able to do that.
Okay.
So I have a couple of questions. I've been writing them down. So how do you publicize the KETR? Personally, as a student, I've not seen too much advertising around campus, whether it's through Instagram, social media, or just word of mouth. I just don't hear the backing for the program.
Okay. Well, of course, as I showed you, they have a Facebook page, they have a Twitter page. We have done some advertising in the Student Center. We are limited in terms of how much we can spend there by the amount of money we have. That's when I said we like to do that if we have the money available. And we did that in the fall. And, Jason, did we ever get that going in the spring, that ad in the Student Center?
I'd like to say yes, but I'm gonna go check into it.
Jason started the semester as a announcer. He's now a graduate student, and he's a GA. And we learned about a third of the way into the semester he could not continue as a paid Lions After Dark announcer. So he has continued on a voluntary basis. And I'd asked him to do that at the beginning of the semester, but we kind of got off track there when we had to move him out as a regular person. But that's something we'd like to do more of. KETR, I will say, recently learned that they have, outside of Hunt County, now this is overall KETR, outside of Hunt County, have about 13,000 listeners a day. But what we know is that the majority of listeners are in Hunt County. So those listeners are outside of Hunt County. So if we're got that many listeners outside of Hunt County, we feel like we certainly have a lot more than that when you take Hunt County into it. So the station itself certainly can do more to promote itself. You see, there's a variety of promotional devices that they use, from occasionally they will do billboards and so forth, but T-shirts and all the usual things. But that's an area that we can always do better and hope to do better. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I have
No.
a couple more questions.
Good.
So as far as reach out across campus and getting these different people on the show, how do you do that, and what do you do as a survey or poll to see what the students are interested in, to see who you should bring to your show?
Dakota, you want to discuss that?
We're all pretty intact with the campus community, so we're pretty aware of everything that's going on. You know, with her being in the music department, him being a GA, both of us being athletes, I mean, we just kind of have a feel for what the campus is doing, and from then we just reach out. We're all, you know, decently known, and it's not just for Lions After Dark. So with that being said, we reach out to what's going on with who's involved with that.
I would point out to them also, for example, I said when the athletic fee thing was coming up, I said, I really want you to get somebody on the program to talk about the athletics fee. And I didn't think he would get the athletic director, but he did. So Dakota's well connected and Jason's well connected. So I will direct them. Survey, I don't think we really have the resources to do a survey, but I think we observe what is being promoted around campus on the sidewalks and the posters, East Texan and other sources, and as things come along, then we try to make it a point to get folks on to talk about those things.
And then, just my last question, why is this not a more voluntary position? That way you can filter in more students to get more, I guess, unbiased towards certain debates, opinions.
I'm not sure I understand that question.
Well, it is a paid position, I
Yes.
understand that, so that means it is therefore selective. However, I feel like in those application processes with two athletes on the board, they may have a more biased opinion compared to someone who's not.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, we try to, that's why we try to get more guests involved, because when we talk about certain topics, we're not trying to offer our opinion unless it's like something on entertainment, where we do talk about like films, current movies, current events, where people will want an opinion as opposed to you know, an educated response. But when it's something that's going on in campus or something that's going on that's affecting everybody, we do want an unbiased opinion. That's why we encourage guests to come on, and we don't try to get the same guests, we try to get different guests to come on, so in that way we have a more well-rounded opinion, so that we have everybody's opinion from everywhere, and we don't kind of keep it just to a certain collective, because we know that that's important for our listeners.
I was just going to say, example purposes, I was on the homecoming court while running Lions After Dark, and I actually had some of the contestants come and talk about it as well. So it's not, you know, a strict opinion bias from, you know, the announcers themselves.
So what's your major?
I'm radio, television, minor, computer science.
Radio, television.
That's why you guys are on the radio. Not
Yes.
They just happen to be athletes.
Yes, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Now, again,
In their voices.
VK are, the kids that are kids, the students, the young scholars who are selected to be a host of Lions After Dark, typically are among our best radio TV students. Of course, they have the training, they have the background to do the work. But, as I started to say, VK, whose actual name I cannot pronounce on cue, but he goes by VK the DJ. I have no idea what his major was, but he's one of the most enthusiastic people about radio I have ever seen. And he's just almost by force of will has made himself a part of the radio station over there. He started out doing a segment on their show, and now he has his own show on Friday night. So there are opportunities. The previous host, Sydney Sofa, was a communication studies major. She was not a radio TV major. So it's not always radio TV major. But we do try to bring in folks, because they are radio TV majors as the host. We try to bring in folks as commentators, a lot of times on one subject or another. Who's your sports commentator right now?
His name is Drew Ivory.
And what's his major?
I don't know.
We don't know what his major is, but he comes in once a week just to talk about the sports scene.
How many
He's a
listeners
student.
do you guys typically get a night?
There's no way to know.
Do you
As I said, the best number I have is for KUTR overall, and even that is, it's hard to pin down, but KUTR just recently had a survey saying that and they had 13,000 regular listeners outside of the county. And we know that the majority of listeners to KUTR are in Commerce and Greenville and in Hunt County. So that was a good deal of encouragement from them.
Do you receive any ad revenue during the program in the evenings?
Now, first, KUTR is a public station that cannot receive, do underwriting, but that's a different story.
Have time for one more question.
Could you break down these 19 hours per week, and then I have a question after that? Just
So when
Well, they're on, let's see, they're on 8 hours, actually on the air, and then there's a good deal of preparation time that
So we
goes
usually,
into that.
so we're usually in there, sometimes you can be in there from 7 o'clock just to try and get stuff pre-prepared for a show. And if we got new music, it takes time to kind of load new music. So the 8 to 9 is, the 9 to 11 is just the airtime, but then there's a lot of preparation time for that. Even like we're making the banners and all that stuff, that takes time outside of it. So like, you know, we're making all the new graphics and stuff and the advertisements, that's all hours that were outside of the lines of the dark time.
I think we're out of time.
Got 30 seconds.
Okay. I would say, you said, had something in your suggestion of what we should talk about, 2 ways that the program helps the university. I'll give you 4 ways. Last night they're on the air talking about the etiquette dinner coming up. There's very little other media that addresses student concerns or activities. The program and the station, but the program in particular, promotes the university on a 100,000-watt radio station that covers 70 miles. It gives great experience to these guys, and that's very important. It provides a forum for talented A&M Commerce students to come on and have a voice. So I think there's 4 ways that I think it helps the university.
Thank y'all very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much.